of Gentrio, and we want to help you understand what legal action you can protect to be able to protect your pets. We here at Team Gentrio love our animals, and we want to be able to help you take care of them and protect them. So estate planning is a legal term to describe the steps that you need to take legally to protect your choices and those that you love. And that includes your pets. Right now, it's very important in the COVID world that we take all precautions that we can in order to guarantee our loved one's safety, including our pets. Critical estate planning documents that we need are a pet power of attorney, a healthcare proxy, a power of attorney, a will, and perhaps even a trust. It's also important that your emergency card enables you to list the needs for your pet and who can be contacted in the event of an emergency, not only to take care of you, but also to take care of your pet. What's also critically important, other than having the documents, is having them stored and available in a place that you can easily share them with those people that you want to assist you in the event of an emergency. Oftentimes in my former law practice, we would often find people would have created their documents, but because of mistakes or not being careful, they'd store them in a place that was inconvenient or not readily accessible for someone to help them. So at Gentrio, we've solved that problem by adding on a Gentrio family vault. And that's the place where not only can you store all your estate planning documents that you create, but all other information. Particularly right now, we'll be talking about the information you want to store relative to your pets. Their veterinarian's contact information, the food that you have your pet eat, your pet schedule, who are your regular pet sitters, and other people. All that information, having it in one place makes it easy for your pets to get the care that they need. So how to protect your pet? One of the critical documents that you should have is a power of attorney for pet care. This document, similar to a financial power of attorney or a power of attorney for healthcare, is a document in which you designate someone in the event of your incapacity, either because you're not available, maybe you're traveling or something like that, or that you're ill and can't make decisions, to make decisions for your pet for you. A Gentrio pet power of attorney offers two options. You can do a limited one, and that would be in the case of travel or maybe an extended leave from home, that you'd be empowering someone to make decisions for your pet for a given period of time, whatever time you select. Or you could make a durable pet power of attorney. This would be a power of attorney that remains in effect to take care of your pet until such time as you revoke it. And this is an overarching document in which you would empower someone, if you were incapacitated or for whatever reason unable to make decisions, to make ultimate decisions for your pet. The Gentrio pet power of attorney also enables you, besides appointing someone to make decisions for you, it gives you an opportunity to designate who your vet is, who your pet emergency hospital is. Further, it enables you to set a budget limit. Now, all of us who are pet lovers hate to think about this, but there are financial realities to owning a pet. And when you empower someone to make decisions for you, they don't have access to your bank account. They don't know if you can afford that $10,000 emergency surgery, or maybe your budget's more limited and you can only afford $1,000. So for that reason, you have the opportunity within your pet power of attorney to put a limit on the financial costs that you can carry to take care of your pet. And there's also an option that if in the case of an emergency that you want to change that, your agent, your pet power of attorney, could contact you, and with permission, you could communicate directly to the vet. Of course, the whole reason of creating the pet power of attorney is to avoid that. You want to give careful consideration and thought so that in the event of an emergency, your pet power of attorney is enabled and empowered to act on your pet's behalf so that decisions can be made swiftly and your pet protected. What's important, similar again to when you designate a pet power of attorney, like when you choose a financial power of attorney or a healthcare agent, you want to pick someone that you trust. The skill set for the pet, though, may be different, obviously, than maybe what you'd want for a financial power of attorney or your own healthcare agent. A pet power of attorney, you want to make sure that this person cares about your pet and understands how you care for your pet and value your pet. Now, again, all of us are pet lovers, but there are some that spend more money and are more dedicated to their pet than others. So it's important that you choose an agent who aligns with your philosophy of how you value and care for your pet. The durable pet power of attorney also gives you an option within it to say what you would want to happen if you passed away to your pet. So do you want your current pet sitter to take on that responsibility, or is there someone else that if you died, you would want to have complete ownership of your pet and the further lifetime decision making for that animal? These are all choices and options that when you go on to Gentrio and join, you can complete this very simple slide survey, which gives you an opportunity to express what your choices are so that your pets are protected and loved the way you want them to be. So protect your choices. Like we already talked about, there's the pet power of attorney. That's the document in which you appoint someone and empower them to make decisions on behalf of your pet when you're not able to. Another way to protect your pet is to purchase pet insurance. This insurance, particularly if you buy it when your dog, or I guess I'm telling you what kind of animal I have, but your pet, if you do it when the animal is younger, you usually have more opportunity to choose what type of package you want. Again, pet insurance is analogous to insurance for humans for healthcare. It's more expensive the older you are and the more underlying conditions you get. So if you buy into an insurance package earlier, sometimes the cost benefit is much better for you as the pet owner. In any event, pet insurance is a good option because it gives you an opportunity to plan for your pet's future and help you to keep down those medical costs, as we talked about, that can sometimes be very expensive and unfortunately can put a pet owner in the position of either bankrupting themselves. And no one wants that. No one wants to be in that position. Another document that's critical in terms of estate planning relative to your pet is a will. A pet power of attorney's value ends upon your death because it's only in effect while you're alive and incapacitated. If it's limited, it's in effect while you're alive and able but unavailable. In any event, a will is a document which only goes into effect when you pass away and when the court approves it through a process known as probate. A will is a document in which you choose someone to manage your estate for you. That's everything you own, including your animals. And it also, if you're a parent of a minor child or children, it gives you an opportunity to nominate someone to be your children's guardian. So those are critical. For our conversation today, a will also allows you to say what you want to do with your animals. The way the United States, all jurisdictions view animals is as property. It's as personal property to you. So a will is an opportunity for you to express what you want to happen with your animals. And you can say, you know, who you want to give it to or whatever. Now, because a will be filed in court and becomes a public document, you may want to write a side memorandum or a side letter. So say in my situation, I would give my dog to my daughter. She knows me. She knows how I take care of my pet, knows how I love my pet. She would want maybe a side note with me expressing, this is the food that I give, this is the vet that I take her to, this is how much I walk her every day, whatever. And having all that information in one place, again, is an advantage and a relief for your loved one, because they're not burdened trying to sort out what they need to do for your animal at a time when they're grieving your loss. So again, that side written note could be stored in your Gentrio family vault, which again is easily accessible to any of your team members you choose to give access to. Another important feature to have for both your pet and yourself is an emergency card. An emergency card enables first responders to take care of you first and foremost, and to figure out what are your, if any, health conditions or medications, so that they know when they're giving you emergency treatment what action to take to maximize your chances of good health, and not do anything that interferes or causes an allergic reaction. That's the last thing an emergency responder wants to do. Sometimes what is often overlooked on emergency cards, but I'm happy to say not at Gentrio, is your pets. God forbid, if you were in a car accident or some traumatic accident where you were incapacitated and you're rushed to hospital, if your pets are at home with no one caring for them, someone needs to be alerted to that fact so that they can come and take care of your pets while the medical treatment providers at the hospital are taking care of you. So a Gentrio emergency card gives an opportunity for you to say, please know that I'm a pet owner, and contact whoever you would designate to be in charge of your pets. This makes sure that your pets are provided for while you're getting taken care of. Again, by giving all this information in one location, it makes it seamless and easy and minimizes the stress for all those taking care of you, your pets. So if you have no estate planning done, as I just said, not creating these estate planning documents unnecessarily burdens those that you love. And you might be thinking, but why? I don't have an estate. They don't really need to do anything. It's no big deal. I have minimum amount of money. All I have is a dog and an apartment or something like this. But that is simply not true. The reality is, if you're in a position where you cannot make healthcare decisions for yourself, the hospital or your loved ones are forced to petition the court to get a guardian appointed. A guardian is someone that the court appoints to make healthcare decisions for you. Now, if everyone is in accord, all that means is time and money. And of course, who wants to spend extra money on legal fees and court costs? And when there's a crisis, when people would much rather be with you than at court or dealing with attorneys, you're burdening them with the emotional cost of it. But an even worse case scenario, and one that is most often repeated in courts, is that usually there is no uniform decision maker. There's usually conflict in families because people are struggling for control and power and acting out of emotion. As a consequence of that, the court then usually appoints a neutral third party, meaning the person who's making the most intimate decisions for you would be a stranger. And that is the decision that no one wants. So in order to protect against that, you need to do your proper estate planning, which for every capable American is a healthcare proxy, a power of attorney, and a will. By doing those three documents, you have taken the steps that you need to create your estate plan. Now, in this conversation, we're also talking about pets. That is the fourth critical document that you should have to make sure everything is covered for your estate. The other component of this during the COVID time is that even absent COVID, it's time consuming and expensive to get an emergency court order. During COVID, it's even more challenging due to the fact that everyone is social distancing, the courts are taking everything only electronically and working on a shortened staff. So that means these critical decisions are delayed due to the fact that you didn't do your estate planning. Again, I would urge you to protect those that you love, relieve them from the emotional and financial burden, and have your critical estate plan documents in place. So we touched upon this briefly, storing and sharing information. Creating the documents is only one part of what you need to do. The other critical part is to have that information easily available and accessible. Again, we don't want to be in a situation in which you've created the document and then you've either put it in a safe deposit box, or you put it in a filing cabinet in your house, or you've seen cases where people have put them in shoeboxes under the bed. All of those actions make it more burdensome on the persons that you want to help you. So the beauty of Gentrio is that you have a family digital vault where you can store the estate planning documents that you create, and you can also selectively choose who of your loved ones you want to share which document with. Beyond the estate planning documents, the Gentrio Digital Vault is available for you to store all the other information that you need to give to those who you need to help you in the event of an emergency. Particularly for your pets, it's helpful because, again, you could have contact information about your vet, your emergency hospital, if your pet has any particular medication needs. Those of us that own dogs usually have a monthly heart guard pill, and a monthly tick and flea treatment. You want to make sure that the person who's taking over for you knows the dates in which you give that medication. So again, everything is seamless and easy, and your pet's protected. You don't want to risk your pet's health because you're disorganized and haven't taken the time to document all this information. Again, Gentrio, we try to make it very easy for you to complete the information and share it, so that it's one thing off of your to-do list and it's done, and you'll have peace of mind. Well, that's a brief overview of what you need to do in order to protect your pets as part of an estate plan, overall estate plan. Thank you so much for joining us, and if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you don't have any questions at this time, feel free to check out Gentrio and email us or contact us there if you think of anything later on. The first question, do I need to have a separate plan for both my dogs, or will one cover both of them? That's a very good question. The way the Gentrio Pet Power of Attorney is set up, you can keep adding each animal and each animal specific requirement within the one document. So for example, as I said, I own a pet, but we also have chickens. They're treated by two different vets. So our Pet Power of Attorney says which doctor to go to for which situation. So one document could cover both, but enables you to complete it for the particular facts of your situation. Next question, is this an added charge to what I create in Gentrio? No, a Pet Power of Attorney is part of a package that when you choose to join Gentrio, you have access to that. And even if right now you don't own a pet, but later on you do, you'd be able to complete one then. Again, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. on estate planning and pets. Thank you.